Hi, welcome to Unity in Under 3, where we're going to teach you how to create scripts and work with the Unity editor in less than 3 minutes. So let's get started with today's script, which is going to be making an object a child. So why would you want to do this? Well, look at this example here. Let's say that this ice sphere needs to become a child of something else in order to destroy it, or in order to move it, or in order to make it part of a player, or whatever it is that you're doing. We can create a simple script to do that. So we're going to go right click, create C# script, and we're going to call it make child. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get rid of our start and our update functions. We don't need them for this script. We don't want it to update or begin this on the start. We want to be able to call this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up a public transform. So the first thing we're doing is creating a public transform, and we're going to call it parent transform. And basically what it's going to do is just tell Unity what's the new parent of this object going to be. So the object that you're using is going to be the child, and what is the parent going to be when you call the script. So the next thing we need to do is to set up our function. So we're going to create a public void. We're going to call it setParent, and we are going to then use that to call the function. So because we are creating this function, we need to put our brackets in so that we can tell Unity what we want to happen when this is called. So there's two things we really need to do here. The first thing we need to do is tell Unity, make it a child of the new parent. So we're going to go ahead and do a transform script. So what we've done here is we've created a transform that's going to say set parent, and we're setting it to the parent transform, which is what we set up here in the public. But there's one other thing that we have to do, and that's to make sure that if this object is already the child of another parent, that we take that out, so we make that false. So now we are all set. We're gonna go ahead and save our script and go back into Unity. So we have this child script here, and notice how it says parent transform, so we want the new parent. We drag it into parent transform. So now basically we have this ready to go, but we need something to trigger it. So what we're going to do is have this red sphere. When it collides with this square, it's going to then set this as a child. So we go here, we have a trigger zone fire sphere. What do we want it to do? We want it to drag the ice sphere, make child, and we want to set parent. So we've said make child, set parent when this thing collides. So now we're going to start it. Okay, so we see over here in the hierarchy, the ice sphere is still on its own. It's not a child of anything, but when we drag this across, now the new parent has the ice sphere as a child. So this is a great way to work with objects that you originally don't want to have as the child of something else. And then later in the game, when something happens, it then becomes a child, and then you can work with it in its new parent.